In this video, we're going to show you how to take our meticulously created artwork here in Inkscape and bring it into Bambu Studio to create our hype chain. So what we're going to do is let's go into Bambu Studio and import the SVG file that we created in Inkscape. And when we bring in our SVG file, it's always going to come in as one color, and it's going to come in at 10 millimeters thick. And so our first thing is we have to decide, well, how thick are we going to make our hype chain? And 10 millimeters is actually pretty good thickness. You can make it thicker if you want, but the thicker you make it, obviously, the longer it's going to take to print. So the next thing is we have to set our filament colors. So we need black, we need white, we need red. And then we need some type of gray color. We'll use a kind of a darker gray color. So the first piece here is going to be our background. So we just click here and let's go ahead and make it background. And our background is going to be, in this case, we're going to scale it to maybe 8 millimeters thick. Okay. And then everything else is going to be 2 millimeters thick. Okay. And so this first piece here, that becomes white. So we can go ahead and call this white pieces. It says high temp and low temp. Oh, we accidentally have, we need PLA here. There we go. Generic PLA. And then we got TPU here too. What do we got going on here? Why do we have TPU? So we need regular generic PLA is what I use. All right, so that should take care. Oh, we got ASA too. What the heck? There we go. All right. So then those parts are our gray parts. So we could just type in gray parts. And then what do we have? We have our red parts. So that is 3, filament color 3. And then we have our, let's see, what is that? That is our gray snout. This is kind of a, and so that is 4. And then this is our black snout pieces. And so we'll leave that as is. All right. So now all we have to do is adjust the Z height of all of our pieces but the background. Okay. So the background is 8 millimeters thick. I want all of the other pieces to sit on top of our background at that 8 millimeter point. So this is kind of a little bit tricky to understand, but not too bad. Gray parts need to be 4. Okay, so what we need to do is find out where those parts are sitting at right now. So to do that, we'll go to the Move tool and look at world coordinates, and those are currently sitting at 4. And so, and they are 2 millimeters thick, and we need those to sit at 8, and they're sitting at 4. So what that means is the Z height has to be 9. Okay, so we'll select all of that, and the Z height has to be 9. So when you have multiple parts selected in an assembly, and we modify the Z height, you can see it says it currently shows it at 0, and we know that's not true. Those parts are not sitting at 0. But we need those parts to sit at 9. And the reason we need parts to sit at 9 is because those parts are 2, half of 2 is 1, and we need those to sit on top of 8, which is our backer board. So that means the Z height needs to be 9, but it's already 4. And so when you have multiple parts in an assembly, and you're going to specify Z height, you have to take into account what is already there. It's kind of a weird thing, I know. So what's already there is 4. We need 9, so then this Z height should be 5. Our end result is our parts all sitting ultimately where we need them to sit. Yes, they're all sitting on top of 8. Now, the one thing you see here, there's some strange happenings here, and that's because we may want to change our height of those pieces, okay? If we slice this, let's just go ahead and slice it right now. The slice will be fine, okay? It will look like we want it to look, more or less. I'm going to show you an option here. It's going to look more or less like we expect it to look. Okay, our purge tower is beyond the plate, is what it's telling us. But you can see that does look like it's supposed to look. But what I want to do is something just slightly different. So we're going to go back to our Prepare tab. And what I would like is I would like the snout, the gray snout, and the black snout to be slightly thicker. Okay, slightly thicker. So instead of 2, let's make those 4. Okay, and so then we have to look at, well, what is the Z height of those right now, right? So those are currently at 9, and because we added to those, we added 2, we need to move those up to 10.5. Okay, I believe that's correct. So we'll do 10.5. And then you could see, let's zoom in here and see what's really happening here. So you could see all of the other bits are sitting on top of our background plate, and see how our snout is raised just slightly more. Now, do we have to have that raised? The little mouthpiece? Maybe not, but I think it looks okay that way. I think it does. So let's go ahead and slice the plate and see if we get any error messages. We're going to get an error message about our perch tower, but we'll fix that. So yes, other than the perch tower, you can see there it goes beyond the plate boundaries. That's our perch tower. Everything else is going to go ahead and print out just fine. Okay. So let's go back here. Let's move our assembly of our badger, and then it's saying that our perch tower. So now let's see if that fixes our problem, which I believe it will. And yes, see it says slice OK. So there we go. So that takes care of that portion of it. Now we're not quite out of the hype chain wood yet, but because we need our ring. Okay, so we need our ring. So I'm going to right click on this and just center it. And then I am going to move it down a little bit. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and bring in our hype chain. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to hit File and Import. And I'm just going to do a search for hype on my desktop. I don't know exactly where this file is sitting. And this is the hype chain we're going to bring in. Now, I downloaded this off of MakerWorld. We're going to import the geometry only. I downloaded this off of MakerWorld, and this is the Jackson 3D hype chain file. So you can look it up by Jackson 3D. He has a YouTube channel as well. And what we're wanting to do, let's go ahead and create a new plate. What we're wanting to do is we're going to have to print 2 of these plates. But what we need to do is take one of these height chain rings and bring it over to this one. And what we have to do is set this right inside of this hype chain here. So what we're going to do, you see this has a split in it right there. What I like to do is I like to rotate that so the split is vertical. So on the Z here, I am going to rotate that 90 degrees. Okay, and now you can see that that split is sitting up top here. And then I'm just going to kind of move it into position here. And I'm going to kind of bury it, something similar to that. Okay, if we scroll around here, you can kind of see how this is going to sit inside there. We don't need it all the way out because we just need enough room to get another one of those rings attached to it. Okay, so I would say something about like that will be sufficient. Now, this is not currently part of this assembly. And if I slice this right now, we're going to get an error message. And that is because there's conflicting paths. There's conflicting tool paths. You see here it says conflicts of G-code path. So that's a problem. And so to avoid that, just remember that we have to have this little guy part of the larger assembly in order to not have that problem happen. So we select them both, we right click, we merge, and then slice. Okay, and then when we do it that way, then it will not, it'll just say slice OK, because now those 2 objects are not conflicting. There you go, slice OK. So that is literally all there is to that. Very, very straightforward. Okay. So now we can go ahead and print this, and that becomes the hype chain. So I hope that gives you another opportunity, another workflow, just using your graphics program and Bambu Studio. If we already have our SVG file, then we just have to set it up properly so that when we come into Bambu Studio, we have all the bits and pieces the way we need it to be, so we can import this very quick and easy. Okay. Now, there is another option here, and I guess we could talk about it with a little extra credit. 3 hours, 32 minutes to print this hype chain. And you'll notice that it's going to be a 3D hype chain. In other words, we have several different levels. There's 41 filament changes. But what if we wanted all these parts, but we did not want them all sitting on top? We wanted a completely smooth plate on top. What about that? Well, let's go ahead and take a look at how we can do this. So let's go ahead and add another build plate. And we already have this assembly selected. So Control-C, Control-V to paste this a new assembly. So there is our new assembly and our new purge tower. And what we're going to do then is we're going to modify the Z heights again. Okay. So first of all, we're on plate 2. So let me show you that, or excuse me, we're on plate 3. And so all of our parts, our white pieces, our gray parts, our red parts, the gray snout, the black snout, we're going to go ahead and move all of those Z heights. So we have to take into account to where those are currently at, which we're just going to move those down 2. So we hit move, and we're going to type in -2, and that's going to move everything down 2 millimeters, and that's going to put that flat. But remember, our snout pieces here, we have to move those down 2 more. Okay, so the gray snout and the black snout, we have to move those -2 more. Okay, and now, actually, we have to, I forgot, we have to move those down even more, -0.5. And now everything is nice and flat. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to take the entire assembly here and flip it over. So we could rotate this in the green axis. We could also, there is an option, I guess I could show it to you here, but we select this and you see the option lay on face. Boom. It kind of does the same thing. It'll lay everything on its face. But we're going to just go ahead and rotate it in the Y direction 180 degrees. And there you go. Now, our height chain part, it is 4.8. So we really need to set the Z height of that to 2.4. And that's going to put that back on the plate. So that needs to be 2.4. And then that will then sit back on our plate. And then we can print. Okay. So now if we go ahead and print this, we'll go ahead and slice the plate. So now it's only going to be 8 millimeters thick overall. Okay, so that's perfectly sliced. And if we flip it around, you could see what we've got going on here. And now we have another issue, which I'm glad this showed up, because it gives us an opportunity to talk about setting the boss, what I call setting the boss. So you see here with this ring, how it's kind of interfering with our gray and white. Obviously, we don't want that to look that way. Everything else looks perfect except for that issue right there. I do think it's a little interesting that this has exactly the same number of color changes, 41 color changes. That's pretty cool. And exactly, more or less, within a few minutes, the exact same amount of print time. So that's kind of interesting too. But we do need to set the boss, okay? So let me show you how to set the boss, because we don't want our ring interfering. So all we have to do to set the boss is find where our ring is. Where's our ring? There's our ring. And it needs to be above the issue. So you see there's our white parts. And so there's our gray parts. There's our white parts. Our ring needs to be in the stack here. It just needs to be above that. So when I reslice it, the last piece that we print becomes the boss. So the gray and the white are going to print after our ring in the stack. So now you can see that the gray and the white kind of overtake the ring, and those become the boss. And so the slicer knows what to do in that situation. So, but yes, the color changes are the same, exact same, roughly the exact same print time. So there you go. So I hope that helps you understand a little bit more about how Bambu Studio works, how we can create our graphics in Inkscape. If you didn't watch the video on creating this graphic in Inkscape and want to learn a little bit more about the general process, I will link to the video description, or link to that video in the video description below, just so you can see that as well. Thanks for watching.